Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Raysong. We are back with The Sims Medieval. We managed to get the wizard last time, so we're getting there slowly but surely. So let's do another quest. What do we have? We have 3 that are... I don't even know. I thought we did this one already. Okay, no, that's the... a different one. So we can do cultural crusades. Religious culture was falling out of style with the new generation, and worse, a cultural fair had come to town, a veritable cornucopia of distractions away from religion. But there was a way for a clever devotee of the Watcher to use or abuse the cultural fair in order to revive their religious faith. Or make books not war. The Peterin was beginning to tire of hearing news of war. Tudorville was involved in a number of bloody conflicts in the nearby territories, but it didn't seem like enough was being done to develop the minds of its citizens. A kingdom could not flourish from might alone. It needed knowledge, enlightenment, but how to bring these things to these people. Or a wandering prophet. One day, a charismatic stranger appeared in Tudorville, armed with a strong voice and a head full of dangerous ideas. His diatribes were an affront to the Watcher's divinity and the kingdom's authority, but they were beginning to catch the attention of an impressionable people. Something would have to be done. So the other 2 would be the Fisherman's Challenge. The time had come for Tudorville's yearly Fisherman Challenge. Any in the kingdom could enter, but few had the skill and experience needed to defeat the kingdom's veteran fishermen. Who will win this year's challenge? That doesn't really do much for me. Or 7 mechanical arts. The arts machinae, the 7 mechanical arts, were the foundation of the great empire. Most could only aspire to master one of the arts during their lifetimes. It was time for a hero to master all 7. As interesting as that one is, I think we're gonna do... Let's try a wandering prophet. So we can take the approach of Silence the Heathen, in which we use the Jacobian priest. The blasphemous drivel from this prophet was beginning to undermine the rule of the kingdom, not to mention the divine power of the Watcher. The investigation would have to be quieted one way or another, or we can do the One True Faith, which is by the Peterin priest. The Peterins have a very simple approach to any who would challenge their faith. Please don't walk on my keyboard, kitty. Oh god. Sorry. Raja decided he wanted some love and started walking on the keyboard. Where was I? The Peterins had a very simple approach to any who would challenge their faith, prove that their faith was stronger. A tournament of miracles would be held for all to see, with the winner claiming the title of the One True Faith. And then under Silence the Heathen, there's also... Oh, we can't do the Monarch, I guess. Oh, maybe because we don't have the Bard, but we don't have the Knight or the Spy either. Let's try the One True Faith. That sounds more fun. Okay. The supporting role. Potter Ned. All right. So we have to pray with 2 Peterins and convert 2 new Peterins. Let's pray with this guy. this guy. Convert to Peter in faith. Convert to Peter in faith. There we go. So those are done. So now we have to question a Peter and Sim. Let's question this guy because that's who we seem to be wanting to question. Well, there's a strange prophet who has a camp over in the forest clearing. He's trying to convert Peterins, and I'm sorry to say that some of us are starting to listen. Not me, mind you. He should be preaching there now. Alright, so now we have to go to the forest. Oh, I think we actually have to evangelize for an hour first, which I think is out here.
You semble veru. Pendrel la bren. Kendrel haveth. Link a haveth. Ye veren jivar. If ye ba shall.
Now go to location.
Shovith Sharik. Tefim slot barzum kone. Yazani meshim. Haveth ilpin.
So we're listening. His talent for oration is impressive, but his theories on faith are hardly viable. Nature itself is not divine. It is just a small aspect of the Watcher's grand plan. I must remind him of that. Have religious debate with Prophet Jared. I pity your misguided faith in some kind of invisible sky wizard, especially when the glory of nature is so abundant here around you, Brother Chet. Allow me to open your eyes to the truth. Join me for a walk through the nearby woods. I will be waiting just down the path. Also, bring some bread for the critters. Alright, so we have to acquire 1 loaf of flat bread for the nature walk, and then tour the woods with Prophet Jared. So... I mean, he's going home, so that's fine. Let's see if we can cook bread, maybe? I don't think we can, but... Nope. Let's make some gruel. And get some sleep. A restless sleep quickly devolved into parade of monstrosities, horrific visions, all slaving over the prone and helpless Brother Chet. No matter which way he turned, the horrors pressed ever closer. We can confront the horrors. Brother Chet saw little choice but to challenge the wicked phantasms head on, or we can run. Terror filled Brother Chet's heart. The only way, his only chance to survive was to run far away. Let's confront them. Swallowing his fear, Brother Chet bravely stood before the encroaching apparitions and yelled in defiance. As dark claws slashed out at him, Chet managed to dance away and countered with renewed vigor and hope. Suddenly, the nightmares began to melt back into the shadows, awed by the display of courage, until nothing stood before the victorious dreamer. Deep down, Chet knew that he was really still lying asleep somewhere, but no matter. Within the context of the dream, the victory was real. All right. Now we're going to go to the village shops. See if we can buy bread there. Otherwise, food. Let's add some cheese to the cart, some wheat, some barley, boar meat, onion, turnip, egg, spices, honey, cabbage, salt, potatoes, venison, rabbit meat, and herring. See if we can get like 5 of each. Okay. Chet rounded a corner in the busy village and almost ran over a young halfling wearing a moth-eaten and uncharacteristically grubby coat. The hustling little hobby hastily extracted a beautiful lute from behind his back. He drew near Brother Chet and whispered, "Like new, half price. What say you? We can buy it. Poor little fellow is down on his luck and selling what must have been a treasured musical possession at a discount. The lute was in perfect condition and would be a steal. Technically, it was illegal, but who was looking? Or no way. Obviously, the pathetic pint sign pilferer had some horrible vice he needed to feed. The lute was probably stolen property, and purchasing stolen property was a crime. We're not going to buy it because we're not a bard." Brother Chet obligingly looked over the lute and then gently handed it back to the homely half pint. "Why not play this beautiful little lute in the square and earn some money, eh?" he counseled. The grubby little hobby stared back grimly, then grunted its disapproval. It stuck out its vile little tongue and after aiming a spiteful glare Chet's way, scampered off into the dusty village streets. Okay, so let's go home. See if we can make any type of bread. I've got to be missing something. Use the ovens in the reception hall. Okay. That's why. Bum, 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 bum. Make food. Flatbread. Okay, don't eat the flatbread. Too late, I guess. Try making that again. Bread to feed the animals along the way. Funny, Prophet Jarrett does not look like much of a fairy princess. If he breaks into song, I am out, and tolerance be damned. So let's go to the woods and tour the woods. Brother Chet is not focused enough to take a long walk through the woods. Okay, so then go home. Set sermon time 6 p.m. And we have to evangelize for 2 hours.
Shayun, Malgrit Brenif, Raysion Jamish, Obren Tamek, Oben Hovik, Shayun Shalom, Oben Sulit, Obren.
Cool, so that's done. Might as well go make some food. So he's only got an hour until his sermon time. So let's wash up, just trying to waste some time. Let's just go here. Give sermon. Has to be a basic sermon.
RaysongPlays, Mistana Kuren. Ladon Gusel Fenesh. Defino
Brother Chet's sermon was well received by the congregation, and the church received $63 in donations. And now he's happy and focused. So now he can go to the forest and tour the woods. Okay, I admit my stroll through the woods was pleasant enough, but I saw no sign of this divinity the prophet spoke of, nor any compelling reason to abandon faith in the Watcher. Yet my flock is being seduced to this new belief. I must seek guidance on this, but not here, lest Prophet Jarrett find a way to use my reflection against me. So, return to the monastery. I need to clear my head and see past all of this, rhetoric of leaves and squirrels. I find writing down my thoughts the surest way to see the truth, as it opens a direct conduit to the Watcher. So we need to spend an hour writing with the Watcher. As Brother Chet wrote, he felt his concerns fading away into serenity. The Watcher granted him focus, and suddenly the path became clear. It is folly to call out weaknesses in another man's faith. Instead, I should demonstrate the faith of my own beliefs. My connection to the Watcher can survive any test. I must prove to this Prophet Jared, and I will need the sanction of the throne for this trial. First, we're gonna sleep, because it's 2 a.m. and he's tired. let's see. So we need to request a royal audience and then challenge Prophet Jared to a test of faith. And I feel like we might as well wait like the half hour so we can get whatever new sermon stuff we need done. Pray for 2 hours and convert to new Peterins. Pause. Converts. Convert. One, two. Now we have to pray. I don't understand why he doesn't pray for more than 2 hours, or more than like half an hour. And I don't know if this is even counting. I'm just going to like 1:30 because I didn't start looking at it until I don't know. All right.
Empress Raven.
Yugonik, nache. Wisum moleson chesik moreke.
My brother Chet, we have not seen you nor your donations here in the throne room for a while. To what do I owe the pleasure of today's visits? You would like a royal audience. His Majesty is a very busy person indeed, but always has time for loyal and supportive vessels. I am sure if the small matter of past due fees were cleared up, Lord Henry the Great would personally extend his thanks and be more than willing to hear your pleas. So deposit $100 at the messenger post.
Malgrick, Vinte.
Tarosen. Tamiet. Karatu. Batu. Final. Mon Karul. Mosen. Wele Benseke.
Hey, there's no one there. Now's your chance.
Divain ya person.
Grouch. Zakorbitane Grouch.
Help. Momin Vidosha.
Gravin. Ya residue. Mathena Sholik. Lustabalin.
Draben Yagrin.
Greetings, Brother Chet. You have my thanks for the dues you recently deposited. No matter the amount, Tudorville can only thrive if we all chip in. I understand from Royal Advisor Marcelli that donations to your church have dropped as a result of some new priest in town. This is bad for all of us, and I am more than happy to support this trial of fates. I will order the town square to be at your disposal. I just ask one favor. The herald is ill. Can you scribe the announcement and deliver it to the village? Cool. So we have to write the announcements for the trial of fate. There, the notice is written and just needs delivering to the village. Despite the fact that its menial task is distracting me from dealing with Hildegard the ailing, it is an invaluable chore. If word spreads and enough people witness the trials, I might be able to quell this misguided nature worshipping outright. Deliver notice to the village. A quick trip into town with this message and my courier duties will be okay. Now that I think about it, don't enter there. I need to... There we go. Flustered with the crowded streets, Brother Chet took a shortcut through a tough section of town. The narrow, crooked streets got darker and more treacherous. Suddenly, Chet was cornered by a gang of hooded hoods. Your gold or your blood, they hissed in unison. We can lecture them. It was sad, really. The ruffian just needed a little wise counsel. They were merely the product of a poor environment and a failing education system. Surely Brother Chet could bring them around. Or we can run for it. It was clear that the club of herb-addled gutter scum had no air for reason. They would kill simply for the sport of it. And we're beyond redemption. The only option was to run. Let's just run. So Brother Chet smirked at the murderous gang and quipped, "Hoods with hoods, eh? Not very original." Then he spun on one heel and ran for his life. The extra 2 seconds it took the dumbfounded gang to process the joke allowed Chet to escape without a scratch. Okay. Now we have to wait until morning. Because we need to be focused. So let's make some food. Let's make herring soup. And then let's just catch some sleep. So these will reset at 9. Then we can do those. Then we can challenge to the fate thing.
Okay.
Let's just nap. I just want to kind of give him something to do. And just in case, let's set a sermon time for 1 p.m. Bestow Watcher's favor and pray with 2 parents. Pray with. Pray with. Perfect. So we're super focused. Let's go do the thing.
Tiva. Now Draylin. Munim. Vidosha. Dazim.
Your watcher is nothing more than empty words and clever trickery. I accept your challenge, and soon you shall accept the true force of nature. So we have to question Courtney, the ailing about alignment, and question Forrest, the catburst.
Yadisa. Shableth. Habridao. Labren.
Question and question. I was trapping game in the forest with food on the table when a boar came out of nowhere and gored me. I barely made it out of the woods alive. And I don't have any coins for treatment. Can you help me, Brother Chet? Okay. Stop moving. Allow me to examine those wounds. Courtney the Ailing's injuries are worse than she let on. I'm amazed she is not dead. I am not a healer, but there are legends of Peterins with the power to ease suffering in people, or in others. Before I can save Courtney the Ailing, I have to study these accounts. So let's go question him first then. So this criminal stole some goods from the docks to provide for his poor family. It was wrong, but punishing him with arrest is the best answer. Okay, we have to ask Lord Henry to grant pardon to Forrest and then research Peter and lore at the archives. So... I appreciate your compassion and understand your goal, Brother Chet. However, I cannot just release the criminal no matter the cause of his crimes. However, I can pardon Forrest the Cutpurse if the fine of 150 gold is paid. Perhaps you can raise the funds with a passionate sermon and remind people how charitable the Peteran Church truly is. Just see the Royal Advisor Marcelli when you have the coin.
Really?
All right. So let's go home. We're going to make some food because he's starving. Boar soup. So we need to research Peteran lore. And an 11 p.m. sermon. So there is an ancient account of a monk who had the power to mend others by taking their wounds onto him through a ritual only described as laying hands. It is risky at best, and many who have attempted it have been overwhelmed by injuries they absorb. I must have complete focus on the task, as well as a strong empathetic link to the wounded. Yet I must try, not for the competition, but as this may be the only thing that can save Courtney the Ailing's life. So let's see. We're just gonna sleep first. Just till about 11. And then we're gonna give that sermon thingy. So we need to give a charity sermon. Give sermon. How does one give a charity sermon? Okay. It's not an easy task, but the community pulled together for this noble cause, and with a bit of personal sacrifice, I just should have enough to ensure Forrest the Cutpurse's freedom once I pay off the debt to the Royal Advisor. So, since it's apparently the middle of the night, let's just go back to sleep. So we have to raise the Peteran population enough to perform a miracle, lay hands, and talk to the advisor. Let's make some food. Faith in the Peteran Church is at an all-time low. I need to go amongst the people and rekindle their devotion if I am to stand a chance against the prophet Jared. Okay, so I basically just need to convert everyone possible. Oh, she's here, so...
Gem Mobrale.
Bravo, Selegon.
Brother Chet concentrated on Courtney the Ailing's pain, willing it onto himself. In a flash of light, Courtney the Ailing stepped back from Brother Chet's embrace, relief softening her features. Brother Chet barely noticed Courtney the Ailing's recovering as a sudden stab of agony erupted from his side, and warm blood trickled from the flesh of the puncture wound. Okay, and now we have to pray for 30 minutes to purge the wound. All right. So we have to still convert a bunch of people to the faith. Oh, how many more people do we need? Let's go to... You know what? Let's go to the castle. And then I can just... Right to the Watcher. Actually, before we do that... Let's write with the Watcher. And then let's see if this will work. Perfect. So at least now he's focused. That's good.
Minusin Kor. Brazel Korak. Venislap. Yervene. Isikel Grinella Melson Vivaren. So apparently we still haven't converted enough people. Man, how many people does it need?
frame.
Vojas exicat. Tendis vogel
Not yet. We should.
Impressive work, prior chat. Few people would do so much for a stranger, let alone a criminal. As such, Lord Henry the Great was so moved by your actions and those of your church that he paid 50 gold toward the fine out of the royal coffers. So if you would only deposit the remaining 100 simoles at a messenger post, I will have the pardon drafted up awaiting your signature on my scribe table. So let's sign the royal pardon.
Tegigarul Gazut! Yona Galib.
Oh yes, poor baby, you're hungry.
Dronsival, Kanesh. Do barim, glorith fradish.
Wickling boo dosa.
Zizam
Okay, it's gonna have to wait because he's too hungry and unfocused and tired. So we're gonna go home. Or back to the monastery. We are going to make some herring soup. And sleep. Like, when am I supposed to know when it's enough to perform a miracle? Eat the onion soup. Okay. Okay, so he has to evangelize and then bestow the watcher's favor. Perfect. And there's all kinds of people just right here that I can convert if they're not already.
Don't glass ground infinite heaven.
Daya blasset
Leo Graham. Tigram Sharash.
Elkin frame.
Sana halosh.
Usarimba.
Gobin Piconta. Wogan va Tanis.
Genetic crimson. Henrik Ulrich.
Alright, I guess let's go to the stocks. Because, yeah. Our community has failed this man just as much as we failed his community. We should come together and lift him up so he doesn't have to steal to survive. The leftover gold is not much, but it's a start, and more importantly, a sign that Forrest the Cutpurse is not alone, and the people of Tudorville do care. This is what I call a miracle.
Well, you bena la nime, no bena, Yona Vombre. Goreb Fracos.
Sheagrum Yisog.
Dinga the fucking
Classic Wallafit.
See if we can get the constable. Nope, okay. We have extra funds. And then convert him to the Peterin faith. I can't believe it, Prior Chet. I don't know what to say or how to thank you. I know what I did was wrong, but I would do anything to save my family from starvation. This money will go a long way, and rest assured my days of petty thievery are behind me. I never put much stock in the Peterin faith or the Watcher, but perhaps I have been wrong. You have proved to me today that I am ready to start anew if you'll have me. Hail, Brother Forrest, you are now a welcome member of the Peterin faith. Know, as long as you hold true to the Watcher's teachings of compassion and learning, you shall have a home and a family within my church. Also, forget not what complete strangers have done for you this day, and pay off that generosity in the future to anyone who requires solace, be they Peterin or otherwise. Alright, now we have to return to the monastery for the final trial. Rummage for a reading glass and a dresser. I can use this reading glass as a holy token and conduit for the divine power of an all-seeing eye. I will just have to properly prepare and bless it. So, drop the reading glass down the well? Okay. Bless the well. Draw the blessed lens from the well. Okay, and now we pray for a miracle wearing the blessed lens. Flare. And pray for a miracle. Okay, I guess I need to pray for a miracle again. Praise be to the Watcher. My prayers have been answered by a powerful vision, a gift of awesome power to prove beyond a shadow of doubt that my faith is real. Let us see if Prophet Jared is ready for the final trial. For my heart and soul are fortified. I am ready to make miracles happen. Show me the miracle. All right, the prophet drew in a long breath as he slowly raised his hands, palms up to the sky. His face showed intense focus, and soon Prior Chet began to feel the hairs tingle on the back of his neck. There was a crackling hum in the air, and the wind began to swirl around the prophet's feet and tugged at the hem of his robes. Veins stood out on the prophet's neck as two brilliant lights started glowing over his hands. People backed away nervously, and the prophet began to scream. "Power of nature," he cried. "Give me domain over life and death, control of everything and nothing." The wind was stronger now, and the prophet had begun to shout over it just to be heard. "And now, from nothingness itself, I call forward one of nature's mightiest servants." There was a small popping sound, and a squirrel appeared in the prophet's hands. Behold," shouted Prophet Jared, with something that was less than total confidence. Half-hearted applause was heard from the assembled villagers. Now it was Prior Chet's turn. He held his hands in front of him and began to pray. "O Watcher," he thought, "show these people your power. Bring forth something bigger than a squirrel, better than a squirrel." Light began to shine from Chet's outstretched hands. He repeated the thought over and over like a mantra. Bigger than a squirrel, better than a squirrel. There was a loud popping sound, and the empty space in front of the prophet suddenly became an 8-foot-tall undead scourge worm. It saw the trembling man before it and unleashed a horrific roar. The squirrel leaped from Prophet Jared's hand in terror as the prophet fell back on the dusty ground. For a long, terrible second, the scourge worm stared down at him, and nobody made a sound. Then the crowd burst into thunderous applause, assuming naively that Prior Chet must be in complete control of the beast. They surpassed every survival instinct in their bodies and continued to cheer. Prior Chet dropped his hands by his side, and the monster deteriorized seconds before it could annihilate half the crowd with a surge of a spectral unfire. "Oh," Chet said simply. The prophet just lay in the dirt, his body twitching. Perfect. So we completed that quest. So that is going to be it for this one. Don't forget I post my videos every single day, and like and subscribe. It does help me out a ton, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. TTFN.